I've bought myself a small mattock so that I can get into these areas where the brambles have gone under the bricks, so it's very difficult to get to them with a normal garden fork, so they have to be dug out gradually. So all of these I need to dig around them and dig out the soil and then sort them out, just to make life difficult. Bits of glass all over the place. It's never easy. Roughneck tough tools for the world. Well, we'll see how tough it is. Tough tools for a tough world. Well, it's certainly going to have a tough time with this plot. All of this broken glass and frames will go by the bath in front of the greenhouse. These old window frames that had those bits of glass in can join all of these other bits and pieces of painted old wood that have rotten, and they'll go in a skip when we get one. And then this area is more or less cleared. There's all sorts, and there's this old Anderson's shelter which is full of all sorts. But I can leave that. There's pots and all sorts there. But yeah, if I can get that sorted, get this area sorted and mulched, I'll be happy with that. So let's just shift this lot out of the way. Then I can cut the grass, get this top area clean today, and that will be great. And all these bits of wood, don't know if any of it is useful to go in somebody's stove. If not, it'll go in the skip. Right, so all those bits of glass are safely stashed away in that corner. There's a few bits here that were elsewhere, and I will put those on top of this lot. I wanted the big pieces to be at the back, so I'll put these small pieces at the front of that, and then that will be done. Okay, that's better. All the glass is now in one place. This has got all the broken glass in, and this is looking a bit tidier. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff here which I'll have to wait till the skip day. There's more broken glass back there. Oh, I don't know what's broken, what's just panes of glass. But rather than shift it from pillar to post, I'll wait till we actually get a skip day scheduled, and then I can just dig these out and see what's what. Because there's bags of, I suppose, rubbish and compost and things here as well, so I'll sort through these when there's a skip day. Right, this area now looks a bit safer with all that glass gone. There's a lot of rubbish still here, all these bits of metal and things lying about, but I've dug most of them out. There's another big piece of grating here. It's just goes all the way over there under that big piece of plastic, so leaving that for now. But yeah, more or less done here. Right, all of these bits of rubbish needs to be cleared off, and all these brambles dealt with. So I'm going to have fun today dealing with this lot. There is a lot of rubbish back here, huge great bits of stuff. Now I'm going to plant comfrey here, so I'm not too bothered, but there's this whole long piece of metal. Good grief. This massive amount of glass. So yes, but I'm not going to try and pick out all the glass out of this lot, because what I'm going to do is plant comfrey here, so I'll never be digging in here anyway. Once the comfrey's in, it's in. So the plan is, I don't think I will manage to get every little piece out, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to put comfrey here now. What I'll do is I will get as much as I can and mulch it with some wood chips, and then deal with any more brambles that come up in the spring, and then plant comfrey next year. Some of the ones, younger ones at the front, not too bad, but the ones at the back go a long way. The older ones, they just keep going. So because of all this glass and stones, it makes it very difficult to get in under the roots. These things. actually stuck at the moment. But gradually I'm in. Some of these older ones got really gnarly old roots that are quite, thick and well established. That goes halfway down to China, so these take a bit more digging, but this mattock seems to be making short work of it, so it's definitely worth the money. Well, the ground is quite wet, so the job I can do today is prune that great big hawthorn in the corner, get that sorted, and it's not going to make huge amount of difference because there's all those trees as well that cast the shadow, so it's not going to make huge amount of difference, but I'll get rid of some of it and then I can sort this area out, remove some of the rubbish, maybe prune that back a bit. The brambles around the Anderson shelter reminded me of someone with a bad hair day. I've started taking out all these brambles and nettles and bindweed, etc., so that I can release all these loganberries from amongst all this rubbish. I keep cutting loads of stuff and dumping those, but eventually I've got some here that I will put into a pot, so I can take some more loganberries and put them somewhere else. But yeah, there's a lot of rubbish back here. We're almost getting to that Anderson's shelter. There's bits of metals and rubbish and stuff I'm finding, but more or less getting there. And then this area can be used for something, I don't know what. Well, it was already a dumping area, but I'll be able to possibly make some use of it, but there's all sorts, and that's the fence, so these are all on the other side, so that's not mine. But this stuff is, like, there's a hazel again, another hazel, which we'll never get a single knot from, but at least keeps the squirrels happy. Full of nettles, and this mess. We've got nettles, we've got all these brambles, and just for good measure, we've got grass growing from the bottom, and bindweed is, it's actually bound it all together, so it's like a solid mess. And I have to be very careful what I'm pulling, otherwise I'll end up damaging the loganberries. I don't want to break them because I want to take some layers off them, so I have to go slowly and surely. And behind me I've got this rhubarb. The stems have started coming out, so I have to be careful not to tread on that. This is middle of December and this rhubarb is coming alive. Now that I've cleared this area a bit more, I can see there was a lot of ironmongery back here. These long pieces of metal have got wires tied to them, so at some point they must have been used for plant supports and things, so they might come in useful. But now I can see what's going on here. I mean, there's still a few brambles, but they're going along the fence now, and having cleared this bit, there's brambles there, but there's also this big loganberry, and there's another one here, so there's two loganberry plants here, and they're on my plot, whereas the other ones are sort of either on the other side or on the border, so I've let them go along the fence. Like this one, it's actually rooted on the other side, but these ones are up here, so they're mine. The other ones I've left alone, and some of the brambles, they're sort of on the border, like this one is sort of on the border, so I've left those. So I can now see the loganberries, and I think I'll get rid of this hazel. Well, I'll certainly chop down the excess branches because it's no good, never produces anything, or if it does, the squirrels get them first. So it's here casting shade, not doing much else, so I'll get rid of that. And there's a bit there as well, I think. You can see there's an old tree trunk. It's white with mould, so it's pretty gnarly, but it's still sending out branches. Don't know what it is, but obviously if they've chopped it down, it wasn't anything useful, so these little branches here will go. the hazel sort of dealt with. And the roots are in there, so it will come back, but at least I'll put it right back. There's a bit there, but with all the other everything else that's here, it's a bit awkward to get to. So until I get the time to actually deal with this other stuff, I can leave that for another day, maybe next year sometime. So this corner is now, try not to tread on the rhubarb, which is here. So I've got the rhubarb there. Still lots of carpet and stuff, lots of old bits of rusty old iron and bits of rotten old wood and all sorts back there. That's a bit of perspex, wire all over the place tangled up with these bits, and then we've got the rusty old Anderson shelter. I mean, it's been here since the Second World War, or since just after it, so I'm not going to mess with it. And looking at some of the other ones I've seen around this site, this is one of the better ones, so I'm leaving it. And this bramble goes along there, so I'm leaving that for the neighbours. They can have their pick of brambles if they want when it starts fruiting. I'm not bothered about it, but I can see there's quite a lot of loganberries. So I've got two massive loganberry bushes, which I didn't know. I thought there was just a little bit coming in from the other side, but there's a lot of it. In fact, that is another loganberry. You see, this one is coming from that one that's on that side, so there's quite a few back here, which I didn't know. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. All this other stuff that I found all over the place, I'll put them all back here for now and deal with them in due course. Right, there's all this bits of long poles and metal poles and ladder, etc., which have been lying about around the place. So I'm going to put those in that corner for now, as it's already got all the other bits of ironmongery in here. I'll put everything in one place, at least it's all together. Now I can clear up and move this lot for now. They can sit with the others, and then I'll come and deal with them when I need them. And these might be useful for something. I know the minute I get rid of them, I'll think of a use for them, so I'll keep them for now. So what I might do is just put them that way, because there is a gap here. I'm not worried about the neighbours getting in, but it's difficult to actually get it any further than that because of all the logs and stuff that's there, but at least there's something there. I was clearing around here and I pulled on a bit of wire thinking, oh, it's a little bit piece of netting, and I ended up uncovering this whole piece. It's about 1.5 meters long. It was all under the grass, so I dug it out, pulled it and pulled it, and eventually I got it out, and it's the same as this wire, so it could actually be used around here where I've just put these bits of metal, so it could be used as an extension of that. Okay, it's time to clear out this wire thing. I need to get this out so that I can get access to the tree and prune the hawthorn. I can see under it and behind it there's a load of old frames and stuff, old wood and things, which I'll get rid of. That's out of the way. Lots of little bits like this, which I'll tidy up. I can get in under here and deal with this tree. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I can deal with it. I can now get in and deal with this. I mean, there's all sorts back there. Bins, dustbins, all sorts. But the important thing was to sort of clear it so I can get to this tree and give it a bit of a prune. It's not going to make much difference because there's all the other stuff behind it and there's no way I can get to it, but at least I can deal with this bit. But as always, time is running out, so I think that will have to wait for another day. Then I can cut this hedge. I can see the plot of the neighbour behind me, but doesn't seem to be much sign of action, so we'll see. I thought I might be able to use this door to stop all the brambles and stuff coming in from the other side. So I think I might put some more boards and things back here once I've pruned those bits and pieces. But I'll sort this corner another day. I've just got to do a bit of a tidy up on the top of this Anderson shelter. There's a lot of dried up old bits and pieces here as well. I mean, the loganberry's still going. It's going there, it's going there, it goes under there, well, it goes into the rubbish heap, so yeah, if I can clear that bit up as well, it just makes it look a bit tidier and better.